your shrink ran off to Europe and didn't even write. And your husband...
Well, I'm sure that's pretty frustrating. I'm not a high jumper. No, no way I watch. Sam, you're going on to play college soccer this year on scholarship. Tell us again where we're going.
James Madison.
James Madison. And who else from Howard? There are other people from Howard County going down as well, are there not?
I think Lori Jackson from Oakland Mills and another girl, but I'm not quite sure of the name.
Okay, well, we wish you the best of luck. And of course, Melanie, you'll be back next year with Hammond, so we wish you the best of luck with them. And how's it look for football this fall? Have we thought that far ahead yet?
Yeah, we have. We always think ahead. We're going to be real good in football. We'll be right up on top, somewhere.
And women's basketball.
We're going to be great.
But before
Listen to me. We're going to be good in this, great in that.
Have you ever heard a coach before the season say, man, we're terrible. I mean, we aren't even going to show up. Never said whether it's true or not. Tell us a little bit about the regional meet and the state meet.
The regional meet is this Friday. We go against at Parkville High School against the Baltimore County teams and Oakland Mills from our team. We've won the region the last 4 years in a row. States are the following weekend, Friday and Saturday at Western Maryland College. And we were runner-up 2 years ago and third last year, and hopefully we're going to get a chance to really win it this year, so we're looking forward to it.
Okay, and they start after school all
3
day
o'clock
long?
on Friday and 3 o'clock on Thursday and Saturday at Western Maryland at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's all day event.
Okay, well, we want to wish Hammond High School's Golden Bears the best in luck in the regional and the state meet as well. I want to thank my guests, Joe Russo, Samantha Andrish, and Melanie White. And as Joe already stated, you can see those regional championships at Parkville.
Did I say
High
Parkdale?
School. No, I got it wrong. I always mess one name up per show, and then it happens to be the one. So Parkville High School in Baltimore County. And cheer on those people, because track runners need your support too, and I'm sure you'll enjoy watching the best in Howard County. We'll be right back with the Oakland Mills High School men's track team right after this public service announcement.
Thanks for recycling.
You're welcome. Yeah, I recycle. Brought in a bunch of aluminum cans, even some foil and some old lawn chairs. You know, most people don't realize all the things aluminum recycling can do for us. Money? Hey, sure, that's great. But it also conserves energy and natural resources, helps the environment, and saves landfill space. That's a real plus nowadays. Do your part. Recycle aluminum.
For an aluminum recycling center near you, call toll-free 1-800-228-2525.
Hi, Bob Nicky Fortune. We're back. Our topic tonight is track, as we are celebrating the county championships of the Hammond Golden Bears female track team. And my guest for the second half of the show, the Oakland Mills High School guys track team. So let me introduce my guest to you, seated over on the couch to my right, the coach of the Oakland Mills track team, Sam Singleton. Seated to his right is Josh Tripp, and seated to his right is Damon Ferguson. I want to apologize to Sam because you've had pretty good success over at Oakland Mills with the track team, but this is the first time you've been on the show.
Yes, it has.
So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and your background for our viewing audience.
Okay, I'm Sam Singleton, and basically I've been at Oakland Mills the last 3 years coaching girls and boys track. And we're defending region champions, which are coming up this Friday. And for the last 3 years, I've helped coach both boys and girls, you know, in sprints and relays.
Did you run track yourself in sports?
Yes, I ran back in '67 when I got out of high school, so you could probably relate to that. It's been a while.
Okay, there's the old man dig in there. Okay, one reason why your gray's not showing is because your hair's a lot shorter than mine. Okay,
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. So in '67 I got out of high school, and I ran in New Jersey, and I went to school in Nebraska, Wayne State College in Nebraska. And I got out of there in '71, and I started teaching. I taught for 6 years, and I taught in Iowa and started coaching football, track, basketball.
Is that right? Where in Iowa?
Dubuque, on the banks of the Mississippi.
I went to school in Missouri. I
Is that
understand
right?
about that. Yes,
Okay.
I do. Let's see if we can't get a close-up shot here of Sam's T-shirt here.
right.
Tell us a little bit about the history. He's real proud of that. Notice how his chest gets a little bit bigger when I start to talk about it. Tell us a little bit about that T-shirt.
Well, the T-shirt was given to me by the indoor track team last year, the girls indoor track team, and basically this is our philosophy at the mill, that track is everything.
And it really has been, because Oakland Mills has pretty much dominated Howard County track throughout the history of the school, pretty much.
Yeah, we have a lot of pride in our track teams. You know, Ivan was probably one of the first coaches over there, Ivan Walker, and
Ivan was one of the first coaches anywhere. Ivan was
true.
there when they built the school. They built it around him.
That's right. So Coach Walker, he's a living legend. He's there, and I followed Caskey Lewis Clapper and Jerry Clapper, her husband, and they got out a couple years ago, so I've been coaching ever since.
And 3 regional championships, not too bad.
We have a lot of pride in that. You know, the kids take a lot of pride in running, and they enjoy running, and it's just a carryover from our cross-country program, which is run by Carnahan, Steve Carnahan, and the indoor track program, you know, and outdoor. So, you know, we try to excel to uphold the image.
Okay, let's get to the guys on the team. Seated to your right is Josh Tripp. Josh, tell us a little bit about you and the events that you run.
Josh Tripp is my second year on the track team. I'm co-captain, tri-captain, along with Damon and Josh Paddock, who isn't here tonight. But basically, I run the 400 meters and 800 meters, the middle distance events.
Mm-hmm. How many guys are on the track team altogether?
We have a lot of people on the team. I guess probably about 50 kids.
So you're not in the same situation that the Hammond girls team was in, where they had only 9 runners for 17 events.
No.
And of the 70 events, too, you know, there's something we didn't mention that first part of the show is, of the 70 events, some of those are relays, so that takes 4 people at a time to run the relay, so you're multiplying exponentially the number of events people have to be involved in. So that's got to help your performance, limiting you to only 2 events.
Yeah, definitely. I think that that's one of the main strengths of our team, is that we have so many guys, we have so much depth that you know, really frees up a lot of people to run, you know, just a couple of things, or just run in the events that we need them to run in. So.
Well, it got to be fast, too. I mean, you could have a team of 50 guys my size, you're not going to beat anybody. I mean, so it's obvious that you got pretty good talent as well.
Definitely.
Why did you pick the 400 and 800 as your events?
I guess I ran cross country. I run cross country in the fall. I did this year, well, for 4 years. And I guess I always liked cross country, but it always seemed a little bit long to me. So when I came out to track, I decided that, you know, I'd try something a little bit shorter. And I've had a lot of success in that, so I like that.
Well, it seemed to me it'd be a natural for you to maybe run the 2 mile, which is shorter than cross country, but
Yeah. I guess on the track, the 2 miles, you know, it's 8 laps around the track, and that gets really mental, and I guess sometimes I have trouble with all that, staying focused on the race. So.
Okay, now seated to Josh's right is Damon Ferguson. Damon, tell us a little bit about you.
Hello, my name is Damon Ferguson. I run the 1, the 2, and the 400 meters. And my favorite one of them all is the 400. The 1 is short, the 2 is short, but the 4 is long and it's hard. I like that better than all.
It seems to me that pretty much the whole race in 100 meters is determined by how quick you can get out of blocks.
Yes, that is true. You could say the blocks and your acceleration from the last 50 and to the first 50. Because if you can come out the blocks fast and run the first part of the 50 slow. The last part, if you're running pretty fast, you can come on at the end.
And which type of runner do you consider yourself? You a quick starter, or you?
I have a quick start, but in between the first 50 and the last 50, I pick it up.
Mm-hmm. What's your best time in the 100?
10:8.
Mm-hmm. That always has seemed to have been the event that determines, quote unquote, the world's fastest human. You know, but I would think that probably the 400 is a better indication of a combination of speed and endurance.
Yeah, the 400, you need strength, but you gotta have a big heart at that too, because you can be as strong as you want, as fast as you want, but if you don't feel like finishing, you won't finish it.
And you're not involved in any of the relays?
Yes, I do the 4x1.
Oh, okay.
I ain't on the 4x1.
All right, so you're still actually racing the 100 again?
Yes.
Okay.
I do it like 3 or 4 times a meet.
My assumption is that you run the anchor leg.
Yes.
Because you're the burner.
Something like that.
Uh-huh. Now, what do you look for, Sam, when you're picking guys to run events like Damon in the 100? And what do you look for? Do you look for a good athlete first and make them a runner? Or sometimes guys just come that are
Well,
flat out hot?
I think that the first thing we try to evaluate is the speed factor. You know, how fast is a kid? If a kid is not fast, we can't put him in the 100, okay? If he has pretty good speed, we can make him a better sprinter, okay? And we usually start everybody out running the quarter. And that's, like you said, that's a good indication of your speed and your strength. And the faster kids drop down and run the 1 and the 200. And the kids that's a little slower go up to the 8 or the mile. You know, so quarter is the greatest indication on what you have. And if you base the whole team on that, you can be covered from the 800 down or the mile down.
Well, with 50 guys on the team, I assume that there's a lot of competition
Yes.
to get to be the guys on the... How many guys from each team actually get to run in a dual meet, let's say?
Well, there's 13 boys events, and you can enter basically 3 kids per event, you know, when you get to invitationals and so on and so forth. So you can have, you know, 39 kids if you have that many kids, you know, 39 different kids, but that never happens. You know, we're down to probably our last 25 kids. That's what we're taking to the region and the states.
Russo would love to have about 10 more in his team, I guarantee you.
I'm sure.
How do you determine, let me ask the guys this, how do you all determine who gets to run in what events? Is it something that they make a decision for you to do, and then you either say yes or don't run? Or is it something that you can challenge somebody else to do? Josh, how about you?
Well, I guess the coaches, they pretty much know what events we run, and then basically they just try to place us in the different events to see where we can get the most points. Because, you know, people like Damon, he could run, you know, 3 individual events and 3 relays, but you can only run 4 races, so you have to, you know, pick and choose what you want him to run in.
Now, Damon, are you running what you want to run?
No, not exactly.
Well, tell us what you'd like to run.
I would
You're
like to-
safe on the TV show. Won't get you.
I would like to run the 1 and the 4 and come out the 2 because the 4 is, you know, too close to the 2 final, and I don't have enough recovery time. But the coach said I can do it, so I do it.
How do you fare county-wise and region-wise in the 3 events that you have?
I mean, fairly well. I know I can get points, you know, from doing it. So if I get points, I know I did my job.
How about your personal best? How often do you feel like you have to hit a personal best to be progressing?
Every meet I try to. If I can't hit a personal best every meet, I haven't done my job.
Oh, that's pretty tough criteria, Coach, isn't it?
Well, that's the criteria we base our kids on. You know, they have their own personal goals, and we have goals, you know, as team and personal goals. And what each kid tries to do is hit their PRs every meet. And we've had some kids that have dropped, you know, 10 seconds in a race from one meet to the next, and that's just a week's time. So everybody looks to increase their PRs, and that's what we strive for.
We only have another minute or two. So, Josh, quickly, could you mention another person or two's name from that's on the team that couldn't be here with us tonight?
I guess if I can mention people, the one that first comes to mind is Xavier Briscoe, who runs 400 and the 800, and he's been doing really well lately, so that's why I mentioned. And
Damon, how about filling us in on the names of those other guys on your 4x1?
Okay, starting off is Brandy Walker. He's a pretty good runner when he wants to run. Next is CJ Queen.
Brave, he's not here to defend.
Next is CJ Queen. He's the same way, but he tries to run as fast as he can every time. Third is Mike Smackpepper. He's a pretty good runner. All he has to do is relax, and we'll be decent. And last is me.
Ever dropped the baton in a race?
Oh, man.
We don't talk about that.
Have you ever dropped the baton but still came back to win the race?
No, we had a little mishap between me and Mike's, Smackpepper. I got it, and if I would have got it when I was supposed to, I would have been in front, but I had to come from behind and catch him.
Well, don't drop the baton.
This is true. Don't even talk about things like that. That's
There you
bad
go.
luck.
Well, we want to thank our guests from Oakland Mills High School. The 15 minutes has gone by very, very quickly, and we also want to remind you that they will be participating also this weekend in the regional track meet at Parkville High School, starting at 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon and continuing through Saturday. So you can see Oakland Mills participating there and some of their runners, along with the other Howard County schools that will be participating in the regional track meet. And then the state track meet, as we said earlier in the show, will be at Western Maryland College the following weekend, once again Friday afternoon and Saturday. So I want to thank my guests from the defending county champion and still county champion Oakland Mills Senior High School track team. They are Sam Singleton, Josh Tripp, and Damon Ferguson. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of Sports Scene 6. And we want to thank you so much for tuning us in. And please check the local newspapers to see where the regional championships are being held for all the respective sports so that we can have a lot of spectators out to support our Howard County teams. Also, for those of you that may have been looking on Cable 8 for the baseball game between the Atholton baseball team and the Wild Lake baseball team, which we advertised on this show a week ago, unfortunately, rain got in the way. The game got in, but we could not take a chance on putting the cameras out in that kind of weather, and with good cause because it was a shortened game because of weather. Although Atholton came from behind and won it 7-6 in the bottom of the last inning. I'm Bob Nicky Fortune. This is Sports Scene 6. We want to thank you for tuning us in. Tune us in again next week at this time, where we'll be with the Oakland Mills Gymnastics women.